Trapness here. I'm back. I had an issue with my computer, so it crashed. And well, it didn't crash. It just muted my mic, so pretty much everything I said was for nothing. So basically, I'm gonna restart this session. I'm gonna quickly explain what I already explained on the other 20 minutes before this, which is basically that I got this project from a client that works with house music. And this is particularly interesting for me because I'm more used to work with hip hop and rappers, which is perfectly fine, but I don't really like that kind of music. I'm more of an electronic music type of person, and this is the first project I'm gonna be working professionally. I've done some house mixes for my own projects, but for a client, this is the first time. But I'm pretty sure I can do a really good job with this. Also, another thing worth mentioning is that the client already had a mix and mastered version. Oh, by the way, let me just let people on Discord know that I'm back. So yeah, another thing to mention is that this project was already mixed and mastered, but I gave my feedback, my criticisms to this artist, and pretty much told him that the track was lacking presence on all the other elements that are not the kick or the bass. And yeah, I was comparing it with a reference track that this same guy sent me. The reference track, I bought it on iTunes, and then I extracted the M4A file that I guess it's like the equivalent of the MP3. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. And yeah, the reason why I bought it because I want a high quality reference track, and it's just like $1 to buy the song, so it's not a big of a deal. And yeah, so comparing both using an spectrum analyzer, you will see that the reference track feels way more balanced. Not only feels, it looks more balanced. Before we even did the spectrum analyzer, just by opening the waveform of the track, you can see that this other the professional reference looks much thicker, and that happens when everything is better balanced out as compared to this one that it looks really tiny, not tiny but thin in comparison. That happens when the kick is way too loud. So yeah, let's listen to this one.
Next to me, I feel I have to mention. It takes me to a place in time where I felt that you were almost.
So as you can see, we have a U shape here, which makes sense with the kick bass. So it will be the low frequencies and the high frequencies being the loudest. That's because this is club music. Club music, what you need is a punch, punch, punch. And the mids go kind of lower in volume, but still are fairly present. Now let's hear the other, like the old mix here. And you can see the bass and the kick are way too loud, followed by this high section, high frequency section, which, you know, even then it doesn't look as filled and chunky as the high section on this one here. You see how everything looks really nicely filled up, while this one has just like some peaks that is like pretty much this thing and this in this frequency. Only those two frequencies are kind of, you know, coming through, and the whole mid section is completely lost here. So yeah, we can definitely improve on the balance on the mix. And yeah, I was pretty much working on importing the different stems. So yeah, that was pretty much everything that I talk about in this first 20 minutes that were lost because of this issue with the mic. But yeah, let's continue. So I had this percussion over here. Okay, I was already loading the stems. Let's keep working on that. So I have this empty rum bottle that was a nice, interesting percussion, but I'm not sure if I loaded it before. I don't think I did. Now, why is this looking like that and not the whole clip? Something is off here. Because the first time I loaded it, it was a full clip. Right now it's just showing me just like half. Let's go to the folder. So I'll go to downloads and the stem is right here. Okay, so what probably happened is that I edited this empty ROM stem. So I'm gonna delete the information and now it should load the entire thing. Nope, it doesn't. What the fuck? How am I supposed to know now where this one goes? Shit. I was not having this issue before. Okay, I'm gonna have to spend time just figuring out where in the song this sound is. Fucking hell. I hate when these kind of things happen. It's not at the beginning. It's not here. Okay, right here. That's the empty ROM sound. So if it's matching, it should be playing here also. Nope. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this. Okay. Okay, now we are good with this, but the problem is that everything else, I think it might look off. Let's see now with this, how it's sounding with what I have. Yeah, it's fucking auto warping in Ableton. I don't know how to fix this shit. It sucks when I do auto warping for long loops, but it sucks if I don't have auto warp on when I load shorter samples because it won't loop. So I cannot win with this fucking thing. Fucking Ableton is driving me crazy. Okay, let's just turn off auto warp long samples and it should be good. Yeah, fucking hell. I swear, sometimes I really hate Ableton, but I guess that every single DAW has their own issues. Let's see this one here. And I'm gonna have to change this, and I had done some stuff to it. I'm gonna have to load again. Doesn't sound right. I'm gonna have to load again this fucking thing. Sorry for all the swearing, but this is the kind of stuff that really stresses me out. It's like when it's something out of my control. Let's see. Fucking lead. I don't even remember what. Okay, it was the emo plug. So yeah, it completely switched the place. Where is the empty rum bottle? Oh, that was the one that I was loading later. Okay. I was up to here. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna have one track for this plug DL. I was trying to make it so I can have the plug and the plug delay on the same track so I can simplify it. But at this point, I have no fucking patience to do all the tweaking I had to do for this to work. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. Let's see this on warp. I think I'm gonna have to just, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna load everything back because I don't even know if on warping it's fixing the timing issues. Let's see up to here. But wait, this is a different sample. Unless I had to deactivate the warping first. Fucking hell, I think I'm gonna have to... Yeah, fuck it. At this point, it's just gonna be simpler to fucking load everything again. Fucking hell. Okay, sorry about that. I just wanna open the chat to see if any of you guys send me a message or something. I forgot my fucking iPad where I usually check the messages. Ooh, let's see live chat. Okay, let's see. Sorry, let me just open this stuff in the computer. I don't want to miss any messages just in case. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm just gonna let the song play while I do this stuff. Sorry about the silence. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm just gonna let the song play while I do this stuff. Sorry about the silence. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna let the song play while I do Okay, I'm back. It's still problematic. I can't see full screen. Doing full screen on YouTube for some reason looks really weird on the TV I'm using, but fuck it. I should be able to work now. Okay, let's go. So yeah, I'm gonna load everything again. Let's go with the bass. Fucking Ableton. I'm sorry for all the swearing, but fucking Ableton, man. I can't wait to learn how to use Logic Pro better. I already did a mix on Logic Pro, but I'm not confident enough to work a project as important as this one. Okay, so I have the damn drum that was under percussion. Then the emo plug. Then I have the emo plug delay. Then I have the empty rum bottle that was also a percussion. So yeah, this is how it should have looked all this time. I guess it was because of the auto warping that the warping got rid of all the empty space, and that's why it was looking like shit. So yeah, lesson for today. See, if you're using Ableton, deactivate fucking auto warping when doing long clips. It will save you a lot of frustration. So yeah, I'm just gonna call this percussion rum bottle. It's already colored black-ish, not black, brownish, which already tells me that it's a percussion. Here I can go to the effects. Go to effects 2. I have a hat roll. Yep, you see, when everything is working well, it's so easy. Problem is that once things start working like shit, then the troubleshooting and trying to see how to fix it. Okay, so let's see. I have this hat. And this hat roll. Okay, so the hat roll is gonna be kind of like the high frequency body, while this is kind of the mid where like, you feel more the hi-hat. So let's rename this. Let's do hat low or hat mid and hat high. Okay. And let's actually switch the place. So I have two crashes here that are playing at the same time. Okay, actually those sound nice. I have a kick. Let's see, where's the... So I have the organs. Let's add like 4 tracks for melodies. All my melodies I tend to do them at blue. So let's see, organ beat, organ. Oh, so this is probably the main. So if anything, this will be like the, let's call it the main sound. The main, it's not a melody really, it's more like the harmonies of the song. Let's just call it main, yeah. And this one, what is this one here? Is something at the end? Yeah, it's just that one teeny tiny sound at the end. Let's see what's that. Okay, this one here, I really don't need it to be on a different track. It's just like one teeny tiny sound at the very end. So yeah, let me just make sure that there's no more information here. Yeah, no, that we should be fine. Okay, so let's keep moving. Now I have this one that is called percussion. Let's see what's this about. Okay, this one is kind of problematic. This is a loop, which means that I'm not gonna be able to separate the highs from the mids. So how can I mix this? Now, I wonder if this percussion is just kind of like the bass or it's meant to be on top of what I already have. No, I think it's a different sound because I don't think I have anything like that yet on the hi-hats. Okay, so I'm just gonna mute this one for now. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. And I have here Rhodes 2, Rhodes 3, Rhodes 4, and Rhodes. Okay, so a lot of Rhodes here. Is this color? Yeah. Okay. So I have 2, 3. I'm gonna make a space for 1. And 4. Okay, so let's listen this one here. Oh, okay, that's more like an effect. This is not a Rhodes. This is more like an effect, like ear candy. So this one should go into the white ones. So let's see. For now, I'm gonna close the sends and returns just to have more space here, cleaner space. I don't need a browser either, so I'm just gonna close that. And which one was it? The Rhodes one. Okay, that's the one that I need to move it. Magic Low. 22. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna move this over here for now. And let's rename this FX3 or FX4, I guess. FX4. I'm gonna change it to white. And also for consistency, I like to keep everything like lowercase. More the main reason I like to keep everything lowercase is because I'm gonna have the basses on capital letters, and when I'm mixing using the Ableton Push, it makes everything so much easier to understand as opposed to having everything the same size. Then you don't know what's the bass, what are the different tracks. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying, time consuming, but once you get used to it, then you shouldn't pay too much attention to it. You are gonna do it automatically. So okay, let's see the next one, Rhodes 2. Okay, so that's an actual melody. This organ bit, what is that? That was the ending of that track here. Let's see, what do I have here? Yeah, let's see. Maybe I can have both. Yeah, I'm gonna have both of them kind of as the same sound because they are kind of the same sound. This one has some effects going on, but I think that I could mix them the same way. If not, I'll just create a different track for the other one, and let's see what is this about. Okay, let me see how that sounds on the alt mix. Oh, okay, I see. So let's send it to the same track. Let's see what happens. And that should be it, I guess. Yeah, there's not more information there, so I'm just gonna close this one. And I have a snare one here. Okay, I do have a track for the snare. And what else? Strings. Strings, I'm also gonna send it to melody. And where's the information? Oh, right there. I'm gonna increase the gain here directly from the clip. Now, the first problem here, and this comes from the producer himself, is that everything sounds very low, very unnecessarily low. And of course, I can make it louder and everything, but if you can have it sounding powerful and loud from the production without any mixing, then that's gonna make things much easier for the sound engineer and also much better for the final product. So I'm just gonna pull this back and yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that, but just pull back the volume from here. And let's see, London stuff. This is with the bass too, so I'm gonna create a track with the same color, and then I'm gonna name this sub. Now let's see something here. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Let me see what frequencies is this sub using. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna mute this stuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need it, but yeah, once I start mixing the bass and the kick, I'll see if I need more energy on the lower frequencies, but I don't think I will. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it that one there, and I'm gonna close it just so I know I'm not gonna use it. Okay, and finally I have the vocals there. So I never had an FX4, so I'm just gonna rename this FX3 and delete this one. And I'm gonna start creating the buses. Well, no, actually not yet. I want to mix everything with the volumes. It's gonna make it easier for me if I don't have everything on buses to mix here on the push. But yeah, finally I need 2 tracks for the vocals. For vocals, I tend to color it pink because humans are pinkish. And yeah, makes sense in my head. So let's do vocal 1 and vocal 2. And let's load this. Okay. Already has some effects going on. And this one is important because this one is kind of what's giving the rhythm. Okay, now let's listen to everything. Make sure that everything sounds like in the reference track. Okay, kind of there. Just a matter of volume. no. Okay, so yeah, definitely this percussion here, it's a separate track. Now, I don't know if I should send this to the mids, to the percussion, or to the highs. That's kind of a difficult question. Let's see. I mean, it definitely has more on the higher frequencies, so I'm gonna send it to the higher frequencies. And let's rename this open hi-hat plus clap. Okay, and I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna color this yellow and also change the color here to yellow. Okay, now I'm done with loading the stems. I'm just gonna save the project for now to make sure that if I mess up anything right now, I don't have to do this over again. And I'm gonna start mixing the track just with volumes. I'm not gonna do any effects or anything right now. I just want everything to be kind of balanced with just volumes. So the first thing I want to balance out is the kick and the hi-hats. I'm gonna mute absolutely everything else. So one quick way to mute everything else is just to select there and 0 this. And then it will mute everything at once. And yep, let's start with that. So let me see where I have the project. So I need to mute the vocals and the effects too. I don't want absolutely anything else. Okay, and the volume of everything is so low. Yeah, as I said, this is a problem with producer. But let's try to work with what we have. So let's see how loud it's getting here on the. It's getting to -13. Okay, I'm gonna need more volume on my headphones. Okay. So the idea here is that we're gonna try to aim for that U shape. So we need to have the kick at the same loudness as the hi-hats. And for the hi-hats, I guess I can group everything, create a bus, because I want to make sure that the combined volume of everything here equals the volume on the kick. Well, actually, it should equal the combined volume of the kick and the bass, but well, we can work on tweaking it later. So let's see. And actually, I'm gonna bring this over here. And I also want to open my S Pen just to make sure that it looks the way I want it. So I still have the problem that I have these two really loud peaks. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, let's try to find out which one is it. It's this one. Okay, the crashes are also kind of too loud right now, so I'm just gonna mute them. Okay, let's see. So yeah, you see, if I mute that one hi-hat, then kind of even out better. But I still need to give a little more volume to these ones. So I think I'm gonna just increase a couple dBs here. Let's do like a 2 dBs. Okay. Also, I'm gonna make this shorter, so it's easier to read. Okay, there are some transients going on there with the hi-hats, so I'm just gonna give it a little more volume, and I'm gonna try to get those transients with the compressor. Okay, and just with this, let's compare it to the old version and focus on the hi-hats. You see how the hi-hats now feel like they were louder than the kick, but they are about the same loudness. Because if you see here, this is peaking at minus 13.7, this is peaking at minus 13-ish. So the hi-hats are a little bit louder right now. What I want to do is to add a compressor. But okay, I'm gonna add different compressors here. I'm gonna add... let me see which one is the one that has the more transient. No, both of them have a lot of transients. So let me see. I'm gonna group this. Let's rename these hats, even though everything is kind of too redundant actually. Yeah, let's just rename it hats. And then I'm gonna add a compressor here to see if I can kind of soften those transients. And let's see. Okay, now let's see the loudness here. We can increase just a little bit more here. Let's bring it to 1 dB, and we should be good with this. Now, the reason why I'm not compressing everything together is because I do want the crashes to be kind of loud and piercy. And this one here needs also to kind of come through the mix, but this probably will need like a little more compression compared to the other ones. So let's see, we have another FA filter. The reason why I'm using the FA filter, other than it's an excellent compressor, is that it's a transparent compressor, meaning that it's not gonna add any color or change any of the qualities on the hi-hat. I want to mix this one clean. If I feel like I need to add my own color to this one, I will do it. Otherwise, clean. Now the hi-hats are peaking at minus 12 while the kick is at minus 13. But remember that this is the combined loudness of everything, while the kick is just the kick right now. It's gonna become a little bit louder once I mix it with the bass. But yeah, just to make sure, let's do one more time this. Okay, that should be pretty good. Let's compare it to the old one. Yeah, I like this one, a version that we're doing already way more. I feel like this specific sound here it's kind of too loud. Or was this one? Let me see. Yeah, I think it's this one here that is kind of too loud on the older version. Yeah, but anyway, I'm good with the balance of these sounds. Now let's balance out the crashes since we are here already. Wait, let me make sure this is how it should sound. Okay, that part I might need to balance out, like add some sort of automation or something. But so let's check the other shorter hits. I think I'm gonna make them lower. And let's listen on the original just to make sure how loud it was before. Yeah, it was very loud actually. Okay, I'm gonna leave the crash for now at that volume. Now let's continue mixing with the bass. Now this is gonna be the tricky part. We have to make sure that the bass and the kick are working well together, that they are not fighting for the same frequencies. So let's open our Spectrum and see how it is working. Actually, I'm gonna just create a low end bass here. So let's just rename this. I don't know what I did. So we got the low. And then I'm gonna add here a spectrum analyzer. I'm gonna mute the one on the master because I have the free version and it messes up the sound every couple seconds. And let's see how we're looking with this. Hey, Sia from the Crossroads. Thanks for joining the stream. We are doing some house music mixing today. So, okay, this one kind of bumps around 70 hertz. Let's see what's going on with the bass. So this one is moving around the 85. It's gonna be kind of a similar area. So we gotta see how can we do so they don't clash together. So the first thing that you will always want to do when you have a kick and a bass that are playing at the same time is adding sidechain compression. So I'm gonna just add Ableton's compressor here. And in this particular compressor, the way you activate the sidechain is like this, going to the sidechain button, and we're gonna do this from the kick. So every time that the kick comes in, the signal on the bass will duck. And also I want to change the view here. This one is a little better. Now let's listen to both. Let's see loudness. That kick doesn't sound too nice, to be honest. It sounds very, very weak. So yeah, the kick was enhanced with effects. The kick on the mix sounds pretty good. All things considered, now that I hear the raw stems, that mix is not bad at all. It's not bad at all because these stems, there are some sounds that are very, very questionable. Oh, and I just noticed that my little light died, so my face is gonna look kind of dark. But okay, it is what it is. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do with the kick right now, definitely I need to beef it up even before I start doing anything else. So I'm gonna need this plugin here. Let me see, it was on sound design called Kickbox. And I don't have it here. Did I put it here? But no, I don't think I have it on my favorites anymore for some reason. It's under EQ compressor. Well, that makes sense. Okay, and yeah, let's load this. But wait, I just noticed something really dumb, that I was adding the compressor not to the bass, but to the kick itself. Now let's see how it sounds. I mean, it sounds better, but still, it's not good enough. So what I want to do here is add on the 50 Hz that there was not much going on. Let's add like 6 dBs there. No, it's just 3. I don't want to be too exaggerated. Boxiness. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that and give it a little more click. So without the plugin, with the plugin, yeah, it sounds much better. The problem is that now that I added this, I completely messed up the balance that I got at the beginning, but it shouldn't be that problematic to get it back to the same volume. So let's see. Right now my kick is at minus 11.4, so I need to give more loudness to the hi-hats. Let's see. Yeah, now the hi-hats are kind of weak.
Every time you're dancing next to me, I feel I have to mention.
Okay, that sounds good for now. Let's work on the kick and bass balance. Now the bass is much lower than the kick. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit louder on the hi-hats. I'm gonna need to add something right now to start balancing it out. So I'm just gonna add some light saturation to begin with. But okay, so first let's add EQ, just to make sure to cut lower frequencies to keep the to keep the lower frequencies on the song overall a little bit cleaner. So what we're cutting is, let's leave it up to 300. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add some saturation here. So let's add the decapitator on this one. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Now what I need to do here on the bass is to first fix the sidechain. Now next I need to make sure that this thing is in mono. Actually, that should be the first thing that I need to do. So let's do a utility. Where is utility? Okay, and let's just mono this thing. Actually, I'm gonna add a mono here on the main bus because the kick also needs to be in mono. Okay, so now both the low end and the high end are balanced out. This one's minus 9.6, this is minus 9.5. I'm good with that. Also, it looks kind of balanced out on the spectrum analyzer. So I think we are good with this. Let's just compare it one more time with the older one. So another thing that you have to do when using reference tracks and when comparing stuff is to make sure that the overall loudness of both your project and the references are about the same. Because right now the reference track is way louder than the track I'm mixing. So it's gonna sound like the older one is better when it's not necessarily the case. So let's try to even this out. So this one is peaking at minus 8. Minus 8. This one is peaking at minus 7. So I need to lower even like 1 dB. Let's try that. Minus 8. Okay, it's about the same. Let's add just a little bit more. Notice how the bass just takes out so much space from the mix on the older version. Now listen to what we're mixing. There's more there. Now I can hear more detail on the hi-hats. Listen, focus now just on the hi-hats. So yeah, um, I'm glad with how it sounds so far. I think that the kick and the bass should be pretty fairly balanced. I still feel like the low end could use a little more punch. Um, so let's add something to this as well. Well, you know what? Actually, let's do the balancing on the volumes as I said I was gonna do. So now let's introduce the next more important element. Let's see what we have. Okay, let's work with that main melody. Let me rename this to here. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. This is the okay, let's call this Rhodes. And this one is the strings. Okay, so for now, what I want is the main sound. So this one should be all the way to the top. This block here, I'm not sure why I'm changing the color. Maybe it was a mistake. Okay, so good. Now let's start with this one. So for this one, actually for all these sounds, I'm gonna need to make them louder with some sort of distortion. So for this kind of sounds, I already used the decapitator on the hi-hats. Now I want to use a different sort of distortion. This one is not a saturation. This one is actually like a guitar amp, I think. But I've used on some of my projects for synths, and actually I really like how it sounds. Now let's see. So right now, yeah, it's way too loud. I'm gonna cut some of the higher frequencies there. Okay, pretty good. Now I want to go to this main sound, and well, I'm gonna start doing the basses here for the melodies. And what I want to do here is to make sure to cut all the lower frequencies. And one more thing, I'm sorry, all my puberty came out of my voice. So one thing that I also been doing lately is just add a compressor on every single track. Not to change the color or to do a lot of compression. I just want to even out like the dynamics just a little bit, just to make sure that the sounds will be present and without too much variation, in the dynamics. That can make it sound too loud on some parts and too weak on other parts. So yeah, I kind of want to even this out. So if you pay a lot of attention just to the pam 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 pam, you will see how the sound kind of disappear at some points. Listen to it. And then on other parts is like it jumps. You can even see it here on the compressor meter. So yeah, I'm gonna try to even that out. So, and the gain reduction I want to accomplish here, it's around 2 dBs. Okay, that should be pretty good. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's compare it to how it was before. Okay, I like it how it sounds. Let's add the next effect. And this one also is gonna need a sidechain compressor. But I think I'm just gonna add a sidechain compressor to the melody bus, just to avoid using way too many plugins unnecessarily. So I had one going on in the bass. The sidechain compression on the melodies is gonna have to be less aggressive, but let's use kind of similar settings. Okay, I like it how it sounds there. Now let's add the, what will be the next sound? Let me see. Okay, that sound that we added on the vocals, I actually feel like it's more like a synth than a vocal, and I would like it to be, well, let me actually delete these vocals here. Yeah, this one here, I feel like it's more of a synth, to be honest. So I don't want to have that as a separate. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna mix all of this in the same bus as the melodies, because the vocals here is a minor detail. Really, it doesn't really matter that much to have its own bus and a different kind of mixing. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so yeah, I'm mixing this melodic element now, and this one has to be kind of at the same loudness as the other. Yep, should be kind of about the same level. So actually, I'm gonna move it over here just to. So this one doesn't really need that extra volume we got from the distortion here on the main sound. What it needs is just some compression. And let's see. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna make it a little bit louder just because it's a sound that comes and goes. It's not like the main melody that it's all the time they're present. So if I have this too loud, then I run the risk that the mix sounds louder just during the parts where this element comes in, and then it goes back to a lower volume and will make everything else sounds low in comparison. So I think I'm gonna keep it at 0 dB, maybe at 1 dB. Okay, let's see how it was sounding before. Yeah, so here it's kind of popping out too much. I notice the... Yeah, it does feel like now it drops a lot in volume. I think that we should be fine with what we have right now. Now the next element that I need to mix are the strings. For the strings, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna just drag the compressor. Okay, I have this compressor, I can drag it here. And for the strings also, I want to add a stereo imager. So let me see, vocals, stereo maker. Let's use the stereo maker. I use this for vocals. Oh god damn it, really? Fucking Ableton. That's the only thing I have to say. Yes, please. That's why you have to keep saving your projects. So yeah, as soon as this shit opens, I'm gonna save the project. Really? God damn it. Okay, let's go. Let's save this first, please, please. So I'm gonna save this as a different version. Magic London mix, and this is gonna be the second version. And also I'm gonna rename this gain staging just to know what part of the mixing is this. Okay, where were we? Okay, mixing the strings. So I said I wanted to make them stereo, and then it crashed. It didn't even register the compressor I added. Okay. So it's the first time that it crashes while trying to load the stereo maker. I hope it's one of those weird occurrences, but let's see. Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash. Thank you. Okay. So the stereo maker, what this does is that it's gonna add a stereo sound without affecting what's in the mono. And this is really important because a lot of wideners, plugins for widening the sound, they tend to mess with the mono sound, and that's a problem because it won't translate well on mono systems. Like for example, if you want to hear it like in your cell phone, if you don't have stereo speakers on the cell phone, then yes, you're gonna have a weaker mix on the stereo systems. Also, to my knowledge, a lot of clubs, especially like maybe older clubs, they tend to have a mono sound system, but with a lot of speakers. So yeah, your mix will sound weaker if it doesn't translate well to mono in this kind of environments. But okay, so let's go here with the strings. And since I want this to be like very loud on the stereo, I'm gonna make it wide. Maybe that's too wide. So if I turn this off, actually it already has some sort of stereo widening the strings. I don't think I'm gonna need to add anything else here. I wish that it was clean, and I noticed that some of the sounds already have some sort of effects going on, processing going on. But yeah, I'm gonna have to just work with what I have. Let me load the image here just to make sure. Yeah, it's already really wide. We don't really need to use this. What I need to add though is some sidechain to this specific sound. Well, I think I have sidechain going on with everything here. No, yeah, I already have a sidechain on the bus. So for the strings, I'm just gonna do some compression to even out the volumes. Okay, let's see how it was sounding before. Okay, and let's just check here on the spectrum on the master just to make sure that nothing is off balance. Okay, our low end is kind of loud, but we will work on that. It's not that much. Everything else seems fine so far. So, yeah. Another thing that I like to have in the master is what I was just talking about right now, a way to check the stereo, I mean the mono, how it sounds in mono. So you see, the problem is that the producer already sent me with some effects. So when you put it on mono, then the hi-hats and the kick still sound nice. The balance, it sounds pretty nice. But now all the melodies sound really drowned, really weak, very on the background. And that's when you use like almost any plugin to widen, really. At least in my experience, does this kind of issue. The only one that doesn't is the Stereo Maker, but at this point the sound is already very widened. I cannot fix that unless I ask the artist to send me the file without the effects, but whatever. Okay, on these strings, since we have the strings playing almost all the time. I feel like I'm gonna need an extra pumping effect on the sidechain. I'm gonna need to do another sidechain just for this one here. So let's see, compressor. And okay, so we have some breaks from the kick. Let me see, where is it? Okay, right here. That sounds so much nicer. So now listen the difference here. Focus on the strings. Right now it's just flat sound. And now that's giving a nice groove as compared to the older version where it sounds just there, but really not doing much more than just being there. So yeah, I like it how it sounds with this new compressor. Nice. Okay, let's see what's the next sound to mix here. So it's that that kind of delayed sound. So let me see, where was that one? Oh, actually, let's mix here this plug. Same thing. I'm gonna just add the compressor here just to even out the dynamics. Now, dynamics are good. They are pretty good. They keep sound and music interesting. But too much dynamic creates the illusion that everything is weaker sounding than it really is. So yeah, that's why I just a little bit of compression on every track. 1-2 dBs, that's it. So notice how the sound becomes much more present. Well, it might be because it was increased the gain here by 3 dBs. But yeah, I'm having roughly a gain reduction of -2. So I'm compensating here with 2 dBs. Let's see the difference. Yeah, notice how the sound has way more body to it. It's not even loudness, it's just the body. It feels thicker. Yep, that's enough. Let me see what frequencies is this new sound using. Is this one? I think it's that one. Yeah, actually, on this one, I think I'm gonna make it a little bit louder. I've like from what I hear, it sounds good, but it just seems too lost here. So yeah, I don't want it to cause me any problems later. And for make it louder, I'm just gonna increase like 2 dBs here. Should be good. So it's around this area here. Okay, this sound here now, I'm starting to feel like it's kind of drowning. So let's see what frequency area it's using. Okay, for now that's good. I have a couple of ideas on how to make that sound more interesting, but we should be good now. Now this plug delay, I'm probably gonna have to make it as loud as the plug itself. Let's just make sure that it's sounding good. And I can't even hear what's going on here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to make the clip louder here. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, now it's too loud. Let's just pull it back a little bit. That works. What's next? These roads here. Let's see what were. Oh, these are stabby sounds. Okay, this sounds interesting. For this one, let me see what's going. I think it's sounding more in the right. Well, actually, I should have one on the master. I'm gonna load a stereo imager on the master just to avoid having to load a individual plugin every time I need to hear the stereo master, the stereo sound of a track. Okay, yeah, it was going more to the right. I knew it. So what I need to do here actually is, well, let's turn this off, and I'm gonna add a auto panning. So what the auto panning is gonna do is that it's gonna be moving the sound automatically from left to right. That way it feels more interesting. You know, you will have a sound that it's not just there like piercing your ear from the same direction, but it's actually give some movement to the mix. Let's see, where is it? I like to use this one, the Pangman. Okay, but that's way too much. And I actually have a preset here saved, basic autopan, just to save me a little bit of time here. Okay, now the problem is that because the sound is originally panned to the right, I'm gonna have to, let's see, maybe pan this to the left and see if this works. I'm gonna have to be a little bit faster. A little bit slower, just a little bit. And maybe a little bit wider. Okay, let's see how that's working. Oh, and I also need to compress this one here. Don't forget about the compression. So since I'm not using this imager here, let's just get rid of that to avoid any confusion. And let's go back to the roads. And this is way over compressing it too much. So you see how it's pump hitting on the right side. If you're wearing headphones, it's gonna be easier to notice this. Pa, 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 pa. It hits way too hard there as compared to. And also this one could be, I think the volume on this one is fine like this. Let's hear it from a little before. Yep, that works. That works. Okay, let's go with the vocals. So same thing here. I'm gonna add a compressor. And let's see. Okay, also I feel like this sound is not really on the center. I think it might be on the, I think it's to the right too. No, it's good. It's Gucci. Okay, let's see how it was sounding before. Okay. I'm happy with how that vocal sounds. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just one detail. Let's see, what else do we need to mix here on the melodies? I think we are good with the melodies. Let's go with the percussions now. So let's add the percussion bass. Oh, let's call it drums, I guess. No, percussion is fine. Percussion. Okay, and same thing. I want a EQ here that will be cutting off the lower frequencies. But wait, am I not cutting anything on the melodies? I'm not cutting anything. Okay, let's see how much I cut here in the melodies. Okay, let me see if if that sound is adding this one here. Yeah, it's fine. I'm cutting a little bit of the lower frequencies on the one of the synths. That is adding a really nice touch to it. But I feel like the low frequency with the kick and the bass is loud enough as it is, so we don't really need that much there. Now let's see on the percussion. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait until I mix everything, and then I'm gonna do a low cut as necessary. Okay, so the first thing, a snare. Okay, so the snare here, I cannot hear it on the mix. So what I'm gonna have to do is, let's just give it some loudness here. So I have a little bit going on here, but it's really not that much. It's more like in the higher frequencies, but I already have a lot going on in the high frequencies. So what I'm gonna do here is see if I can do something with this plug in the CLA drums from Waves. Maybe a little bit overkill for this snare, but I feel like it's sounding so weak that we need kind of overkill it to make it sound nice in the mix. Okay, I kind of like that. And let's see if we change here. Actually, I want less treble, yeah. Now let's see how it's looking on the span. Still looks the same thing. If I turn it off, how does it sound? Let's see how it sounds in the mix now. Let me see if I compress this. That's more like it. So yeah, the difference like that. And I'll see how it sounds on the mix. I still can hear it. Oof. Yeah, the problem is that what I mentioned before, that since we already have sort of a clap going on here on the hi-hats, that's taking away from the space in the snare. Because if I turn this off, let's see. Now I can hear the snare. And even then, I can barely hear it. Okay, let's do one more thing here, because I don't think that I'm even gonna end up using this snare here. So let's load... What can I do here? Let's try with the decapitator and see what happens. Wait, I added to the wrong track. Ugh. I guess I'm starting to get a little bit tired right now. So this decapitator should go to the percussion, the snare. Okay, let's put this back. Okay, yeah. It's kind of hard to hear, and it's very, very, very subtle, but now it's adding a little bit more punch where the snare has to come in. The problem is that if I had to do all this for just a snare, am I gonna have to do the same with the claps and the other sounds? Let's see. I hope not. Let's hear this by itself. Sounds nice, the clap there. So if I turn off the percussion, okay, yep, I like it how it sounds. I'm glad we didn't have to do much stuff to the clap. Now let's hear the rum bottle. Now let's see where on the spectrum is this on the original mix. Okay, this one I don't feel like it needs to be in the center. Let's see. Clap, 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 clap. Oh, by the way, at the clap, I wanted to also do the compression a little bit. I might do it as well on the snare. That one I'm not sure about. But let me see. The compressor here. Okay, honestly, I cannot hear a difference there, but I'm just gonna keep it just to be safe. I'm gonna try the same with the snare. Now for the snare, I think I'm gonna keep it at the end of the chain. Let's see what happens. Okay, I think we're good with this. Now let's go to the rum bottle. So same thing. I'm gonna add this other percussion. I still don't have it. I'm gonna just add a compressor. And the reason why I'm adding a compressor on each track and not just do like one compressor on the bass is that each sound, as you can see, has like a different loudness. So I'm gonna need to set up a different threshold to be able to properly control its dynamics. It takes a little bit longer, but since I started working like this, I feel like I've been able to make mixes where each element in the sound feels much more present than before. Let's see. Shit, it's been almost 2 hours of streaming already. I've really enjoyed working on this mix. I haven't even noticed that it's been already 2 hours. So yeah, let's try to wrap this up for today. As you can see, I'm doing still like pretty much gain staging. I'm not doing any crazy stuff or anything, and it's already starting to sound really, really nice. And I take back what I said about the sounds, except for the kick and the snare, and that the fact that everything is too low. I like the sounds here on this mix, on this project, I mean. Okay, so let's see, rum bottle. There's an extra one here that doesn't really need to be there. I feel like it's just making it sound kind of iffy. So let's see now. Also, the first one sounds kind of off. I think it might be starting late. Nope, it's good. Let's see something. You see, before it was way too loud. Okay, and there's something off here. No, I think it was just the span doing its thing. Okay, yeah, I like it how it sounds. The only thing I feel like we could use here is autopan, just to give it a little bit more movement. I had an autopan going on in the... where was it? On the roads. Yep, I had a pan going on here, so I'm just gonna use the same one and I'm gonna change its settings a little bit. So for this one, I'm gonna make it very wide, and the speed, I'm gonna make it slow. Let's see what happens. Let's reduce the volume. Okay, sounds good. I'm glad. I'm happy with it. This percussion over here. Let me see what is this. Okay, this one sounds to like it's more in the right. Yep, it is more on the right. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing here. I'm sorry, this is not the one. Let's see how it sounds there. Yeah, I like it there. I don't think we need to do much more. Let's just add the compressor there. Okay, I see what's going on here. This is okay. We're gonna do something later with automations on this part. I don't want to work on the automations yet, but basically I want the sound to come in little by little by little by little, so it increases its loudness, and when the drop comes in, then it sounds really nice. But yeah, I think I'm good with this. Volumes on the percussions. I don't think I need to do anything else. And now the effects, and that will be it for today. Pretty much just gain staging. Only gain staging at this point. I haven't even added anything else, and it's already sounding nice. We still have to do automations, saturations on some of the other sounds. But yeah, it's working really nice. What's this? Okay, let's see how it's working on the other one. Okay, here I also want the autopan. So let's see, where was the autopan here? Oh, I forgot that I was gonna add the compressor here. And let's see the cut on the lower frequencies here. Okay, that should be good. Let's work now on the last effects here. So for this, I I forgot that I want to grab the auto pan. Okay, let's go there. So let's see. Well, first I'm gonna start with the compressor on this one. Okay, on this one, definitely the compressor is gonna help a lot. Listen with it. And listen without it. It's like after the loudest part, it gets completely lost. And let's hear now with the mix. Oh, I wanted to add the Pangman here. This panning should be good. No, actually, it has to be slower. And maybe a little bit louder here. But I just noticed that we are missing a sound here. We're missing a sound on the melodies. Let's see. Where is it? No, everything is on. Did I forget to load something? Damn, I'm missing something here. Is it a pa pa pa? We had that one, didn't we? Let me see. No, this one is not it. Maybe it's one of these effects. No, is this one here? Oh, okay. Okay, so this shouldn't be on effects. This should be on the melodic elements. So let's put it together with the roads. Let's color this blue. And let me add the compressor. Well, I had a compressor going on here. But this one is panned to the left. Sounds like more going to the left, this one. Let's make sure. It's moving right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay, let's see how it was before. Okay, I definitely I feel like this needs a little bit more oomph to it. Feels too tiny, too weak. I need some color going on here. So let's see what can I do about this. Let's add the RC20. Let's see. This usually has some really nice coloring presets. Okay, so let's get rid of this noise. Oh, wait, let me save this project. I'm gonna save it as number 2. Well, it's already number 2, so let's just save it. I'm gonna add a little more reverb. I feel like this needs more reverb. Okay, let's see how it's working now. So it's like this. Before was like this. Now let's see. Okay. I feel it's good. We just need this last effects and we are good for today. Let's see. This is gonna need some EQ, compressor as well. So let's add this one. And this one. Okay, this should be good. And let's lower the volume on this one. Okay, let's hear it. Nice. The vocals could use a little bit of loudness, just 1 dB. Okay, the crashes also could be a little bit louder, just to do that nice transition. Okay, that works better. Okay. I like it how it's sounding. We've managed to achieve a balance on the entire song, which is already like 50% of the mix. The other 50% is just gonna work on like giving a little more beef to the sounds. What else? That also do some automations to just make some little parts louder, some little parts lower, and maybe even edit a little bit on the clips here, because I feel like it needs like maybe just 1 second of silence on the bass line, because as you can see here, the bass is pretty much present on the entire song, and that can be a little bit tiring. And by a little bit, I mean really fucking exhausting to listen to. The kick has some really nice breaks, but yeah, the bass definitely needs some sort of break there. Same goes for the hi-hats. For the most part, like for example, this one doesn't have any break at all. So it does feel like the transition between sections in the song it's not really working. But yeah, we'll work on that on another session tomorrow. Right now my ears are already fried. I'm not used to mix with headphones, but right now it's makes my life much easier to work with this doing the streaming. I haven't figured out how to use audio with the speakers yet, but I'll figure it out one day. But okay, that's gonna be it for this session. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or you can check my Discord so you can ask me any questions at all. Any links to my social media, to my Discord, to my streamings is down in the description. If you're watching this on Twitch, I have a YouTube channel where I upload videos somewhat regularly, or at least I'm gonna try to do it. And yeah, that will be pretty much it for today. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.